Hello everyone, we're here with a very special person, a woman that I admire so much. She is a key person here in Baja California. She is one of, I believe she's the best producer here in Baja California. Welcome, Luisa Gómez de Silva.
Thank you, Denitza. Thank you, Olga. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And please tell us, how did you become a producer?
Long story. No, I started working in communication. My background is in journalism. I worked for a couple of years in a local TV station and then a national network. And in Mexico, to get your bachelor's, you need to do a thesis. So at the time, my time ran out from college to get my thesis done, and I asked the TV station for permission to go back to finish the thesis. And they told me, no, this is a 24/7 job, so I had to quit. So at the time, I quit the TV station, I went to work on my thesis, I did my exam, and then a friend of mine asked me, what are you going to do next? And I'm like, well, probably I'll go look to the other network, because I couldn't go back to the network.
I asked for something that I really wanted.
So he's like, why don't you go to Titanic? And at the time, what we were saying, this is back in 1996, and I'm like, I don't want to be an extra, because at the time, that's what you were hearing on the news, that they were looking for extras. And he's like, oh no, they're hiring in all the departments. My brother is going on Monday. This was on a Friday. He's like, my brother is going on a Monday. You should bring your CV. So I said, oh sure, I'll do that. So I gave my CV to his brother on a Sunday. He brought it to the studio where we're right now sitting. On a Monday, they called me on a Tuesday for a Wednesday interview, and this was May 5th, 1996. So this past May, I turned 26 years working in the film industry. So it all started that way. Thank you. And I guess it was, I always say I have been very lucky. My goal, I wanted to be a news correspondent all over the world, and I ended up working in film. I wouldn't change it. I'm happy with the path I chose. I've been very fortunate, but that's how I started. I started working on Titanic. I was art department coordinator for Mexico. And after I finished working on Titanic for a year, I stayed working for 20th Century Fox for 6 years, and then I opened up my production services company where I have been working for the last 20 years.
Wow! And since then, so you mentioned Titanic is a huge one to get you started. I mean, what an entrance, right? And then now with your own company, with your own production company, what are some of the names that you have, or some of the films that you have done?
I have to say first that there's a generation of people that started on Titanic with me, and somebody jokes out there that it's the Titanic generation, and I believe it is, because a lot of us started there in different areas, different departments, and all of us have been scaling up, and it's always like a little family. We were talking before we started that there's not a lot of people in Baja that do film, but everybody that does is a family. We know each other, we support each other, and we're always trying to work together as much as we can. Then with the company, I've been lucky enough that I've been traveling all over. I've been working in a lot of countries, from Alaska to Ushuaia and Land's End. I've been working in Bahamas, I've been working in Panama. I've worked with Robert De Niro, with Robert Redford. I've been very lucky and very fortunate to work with in 26 years. But recently, the last shows I produced Selena, the series for Netflix. Last summer, I produced The Garcias for HBO Max, and right now we're trying to close 2 other shows for the end of the year.
Congratulations. Wow, what a career.
Her resume, it's just unbelievable, and I'm so happy to have you here, Lulu. I'm very excited. I look at her and I'm like, oh my God, wow. And well, we're here at the Baja Studios, this being practically your second home. Can you please tell us about your experience here?
I would say it's my home, not my second home. Exactly. We usually joke about it, but we spend more time here than with our own family. So I started back in '96. I was here until 2002. Then the studio got sold, and then when in 2007 I came back with Dawn Treader for the People of Narnia, and I've been working since there, here and there. As much as I have projects that they're interested in shooting at the studio or shooting in Baja, I bring them here. It's my home, and I joke and I say that I'm part of the assets of the studio. No, I've been here forever. No, it's always it's like coming
Lulu,
home.
you are. We got here and they're like, but Lulu hasn't. He's just not here yet. I'm like, no,
Right.
she will come. Let's just
Right.
let this set
Right.
up and then
As
you know.
soon-
But
As soon as you walk in, it turns into life.
No, it's funny because it is one of the most well-known facilities in the world. It has like the biggest tanks. And this is not a commercial, but it is also because it happens. There's a lot of people that ask us. At the beginning, it was just focused on water-related shows. But since the new ownership began, we're trying to accommodate every production possible.
what do you, in talking about Baja California, what do you think Baja California needs in order so the productions, you know, come here to film more often, you know, with more facilities?
I think, and this is something that we've discussed and we've been loving for many, many years together with the studio administrators and with friends from Warner, Disney, and all over. We're looking definitely for a government incentive. That's like the key ingredient, if you can say that everybody asks for. That's one of the first things that my clients request. They ask if there's an incentive in my country, and if they know that there's none, there's always discretional. We have been getting support from all the local authorities, all the government levels in other administrations have helped us without being a formal incentive per se. But definitely I would say that there's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of states, a lot of countries that are portraying Mexico because we don't have an incentive. And there's, as a producer, there's as much as you can do, like trying to get the best rates, the best crew, try to accommodate to make it happen. But definitely if we had an incentive, that would definitely put us again in the map.
We are so thankful to have you here.
So thank you so much for coming.
Thank
Lulu.
you for having me.
No, most definitely. I don't know, just for last, if you want to add something else or a message that you want to give for the people that want to work in the film industry here in Baja. You know, just, yeah, because...
No, I always tell them that you have to be a bit loony to be in this business. It's a lot of sacrifice, but you have to be resilient. You put a lot of stake. It's something that, but if you're passionate about it and you like it and you enjoy what you do like I do, I don't see myself doing anything else in the next few years.
Beautiful.
No, you're the best. No, thank you so much for being here, Lulu.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.